Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you guys have been subscribing for a while, it has been a minute since I've done an actual video. I've done a couple shorts here or there, but as you're probably watching this, it's around September 2025. It's back to school season, end of summer, and man, it's been a busy kind of few months. I mean, my work has been sending me, I travel a bunch for work, so I've been out of town. Been trying to keep up with all you guys out there in the knife community and whatnot, so it's been good. But I just haven't been able to sit down and really produce videos. But I've tried to do some shorts. But it's just that time of the year, like the kids are all going back to school, right? And I have one, but I mean, in general, kids are going back to school. Everything gets busier. Everybody is like suddenly email and work, and everything is just coming at once. So, if you're in that kind of lifestyle, and if you don't have kids, and you know what I'm talking about, like with work, it's that time of the year. Things are starting to buzz again, but it's all good. That's all good. Trying to get back into making some videos that I just have been thinking about, and I missed. Just like there's all these videos, so you guys may seem like I'm behind. But I wanted to address some of the videos that I've been seeing for the last few weeks or the last even month or two. Just some great topics that I wanted to talk about. Lots of knife content, but also slips and people talking about their top fives. And I've seen it all. I wanted to make a video, but trust me, um, I'll probably just do it on my own at one point or another. But I've been taking notes and I've been loving watching everybody's videos. But um, one thing that I wanted to do was, if you already clicked on the thumbnail, talking about Stockmans. And as usual, there's not going to be any editing. There is zero format. I am sorry. I'm just here to just share what I've been thinking about. But I did what I wanted to do was pull out my Stockmans that I have. And, these aren't all of them, but I have been collecting Stockmans for a while now. But what is interesting is I have always been a single blade kind of guy, with my background coming mostly from modern folders. When I got into slip joints, I was just really into single blades. But then everyone kind of goes through this transition where they begin to just find a pattern that they like. For me, I wasn't into Stockmans, but I tried one, and the transformation was like single blades. And then I got like into, all right, well, there's a lot of cool looking blades out there, but there's more than one blade. So I started dabbling like very lightly into things like this, approachable things that kind of spoke to me in terms of the aesthetics and the build quality. So I look for things like this case here. This is a, let me just see, look it up. 62 032. So this is a, I believe this would be some type of jack, maybe a Texas jackknife. Again, still learning all the case things. And this is kind of actually part of that journey, right? Like, so for me, modern folders were my thing, and I dabbled in Great Eastern cutlery. This was years and years ago. I had a whole ton of them. I was also into Northwoods, but case was something I never really touched on until more recently. And so for the past year or so, like I've been dabbling more and more into case, and I just find that I really like the older stuff. But that's what brought me to this journey where I was thinking like, let's try jackknives, and I started getting a couple blades, and then I noticed, you know, this pattern is not far off from a pattern like this, for instance. So this would be, um, I believe this is a 6332. So it's a Stockman. Um, and I don't know if they make them anymore because I always seem to only be able to find like vintage pieces. But this is my kind of like my favorite case Stockman pattern right now. And I actually have two examples here. One is a red bone and one is this, I don't know what they call this. Would you call this a brown bone? I don't know. But I like to carry these because of how thin they are. See that? It's just like, although it looks similar, to some other case knives, and they do like online and everything. What you don't appreciate is when you turn it over, it's a different feel to some knives. You know, the front looks similar, but the thinness of these 32 Stockmans, it's just so thin compared to something like this. This only has two blades, and it's just beefier. Now it does fill the hand better, but if you're just talking about carrying and putting it in your pocket, this is almost twice the thickness. And the other thing that I like about these 32s is just the way that everything folds in here. There's something really beautiful about that. It's almost like a little machine. Like the way everything is folded and nestled in there. This one is really nice because it's just the bone, just I don't know. I just like the way it looks. It's hard to explain. I've got this Boker here that I really like too. This one's really, really smooth. The way they used to make these. Again, it's hard to describe, but I do appreciate the way it feels. But the way this one does, it's a little higher in terms of height. So I don't know if you can see this, but for being a kind of a smaller knife in some ways, the height of it because of the way this blade kind of sits, and you'll see this with Stockmans, are this sheep's foot is usually the one that's most proud, and you know, similarly with this Boker, it's going to be kind of wide at the center here. And of course, you know, that doesn't really affect most people, but it's just something to consider. Like the profile of this, while not maybe thick, is tall. So um, I do like this though. This in terms of size, and then actually when you use this, it's actually really just a well-made knife. Um, don't know exactly if this has a. Let me just see if I can look it up. 85, 86 for all you. Let me get this under the light. Boker USA for all you knife guys out there. For me, I'm a lot like anything else. I don't remember numbers very easily. So all the hobbies I'm in, people remember all these serial numbers and stuff. I'm the wrong guy. Just go ahead and pass by me. Go ahead, because it's not gonna work. I don't remember numbers. I'm more of a like I know where to find it if I need it. I'll look it up. But I just remember so many things in life that I can't dedicate any more hard drive space in my brain. So this is another one that I have enjoyed. This is actually one of the first also that I got. The pattern here is a 6392 pattern. So this is a great knife. By the way, that main blade is beautiful, so smooth, and just beefy. The big problem with this one, though, for me, and I'm just looking through, where is it? I'm looking through the camera to open all these, is, oh God, I'm not even going to attempt it right now. This sheep's blade, and then there's a spay blade in there. Forget about it. It's just like, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'll be big enough to admit that I'm not a man enough to get these open. For some reason though, the main blade comes out buttery smooth, but these middle two, it's like I need another tool to just get them out. But unfortunately, it's just a beautiful knife. You know, do you guys ever have that? Like, I swear, the problem with some of these knives is I love them, but I've got a whole bunch of knives where one of the blades I can't get it open for the life of me. And again, I don't have nails. You've heard that complaint. Um, it is what it is, man. I don't know. What I can do sometimes with this, though, funny enough, is I can pinch this open if I go like that. See, so I do get that open like that, but I have to open the main blade and then kind of risk finagling everything. I don't know. I don't want to deal with it, but boy, this is a cool knife. Really big too. It's actually I think this is over 4 inches, but it's just a beautiful blade and a beautiful cover. I love how that bone, I don't know if you can see it. There it is. So much glare in here with my indoor lighting, but it just looks so cool. These are built like tanks, man. But anyway, rambling on. I think the newest one that I got that has just been in my pocket nonstop is this one. And I actually brought the box out because, yet again, I'm not going to remember what the heck it's called. So this is Mahogany Bone Peach Seed Jigged Medium Stockman. Boom. There you go. So I just think of it as mahogany bone. And you know what? I've said it 100 times, but and this includes every company. I just think like Case as an overall company does such a good job historically, but also in modern times with their bones. Like jig bone, smooth bone, they just do so consistently good quality job with the colors and the varieties, and I love GEC, and I have a I have more GECs than I do Case. But let me tell you, say what you will about this, if you're in the community, you've heard them, everyone whining and griping about the fit and finish, and I get it. But in terms of just the jigging of the bone, I like what Case is doing. And this one is really a great example. I love the mahogany bone color. Look at this side. This is the um, pile side, and you can just see. I love how it glistens. It's smooth at the top, and the jigging is so dark. My only complaint, getting into the complaint area, is um, with this knife. And again, if you know Case, you're gonna know this. Is I'll show you. So the main uh, sheep's foot blade here. You can see it right there. There's the rubbing. And then you see here too, more rubbing. And I'll show you in slow motion right here what happens. As the blade shuts, it wants to fall right there, right on top of the other blade. And it has to knock this blade out of the way. And I'm talking like this. Do you see it? I'll go slow. See, it almost actually has to slide inwards. It wants to occupy the same slot, the same slot. So, the same spot I meant to say, but right there you can see that it has to almost kind of scooch itself in. So in reality, what it's doing is actually the blade edge is actually riding right on there, and it hits the top of that not coping, the spay blade right there, and then it has to knock it over. I mean, it's disgusting. If for those of you who don't even like rubbing, you're gonna get horrified by this. But do I care? Nope. Do I shut it like this? Yup. I don't care. I mean, I carry it. I use it. This one, same thing. Whenever I open and close it, there's a huge rubbing mark. I don't even know how that happened at first, but then I realized it's probably because when I close it, the edge of this actually rubs against this in this outside blade, the main clip point. So you're getting rubbing on this blade, the sheep's foot, and the spay blade too. The spay blade is kind of, yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but the tip of this is, there it is. There's the haze. That's where this rubbing happens. So you're getting rubbing on all three blades all the time, every single time. And I've just got, I'm just gonna live with it. It's fine, I'm not. It's not here to. I'm not. I carry this. I actually will encourage it to go ahead. It's carbon steel, so I'm just gonna let it patina like we all blades that are carbon. It's gonna develop its own character, and rubbing. It is what it is. What I don't like about this pattern, though, is the fact that it's this is a 6318. I do like the size, but compared to my favorite Stockman, which is really, like I was saying, I was singing the praises of it being really thin, but just really look at that. Look at the way that all the things are nestled in there. So finely nestled, but so robust at the same time. Where look at this 6318. Look how much space is here. All that space. This thing is almost double. I mean, not double, but significantly thicker, right? And it's still three blades, right? Significantly thicker for no real reason. But on top of that, you would think, okay, if it's going to be thicker, then hopefully they eliminate some of the rubbing. Nope. The rubbing's even worse on this one. And again, I mean, that's just fit and finish. It is what it is. I'm not here to complain. But I am saying, when you look at a blade like this is kind of like the pinnacle of it. Like, this is how it should be made. And making everything fit in there, it still opens and closes with such smoothness, you know, there's some wear on this one. As you can see, it's been sharpened, but it's still totally usable, sharp. Um, and then good snap, it definitely has good snap. And all of it fits in there without, minimal rubbing, but it's not as bad as this, not as obvious as this, I should say. Um, this fits so snugly and so cleanly. It kind of almost reminds me of like, it's like I'm not this one, but like this 32 pattern kind of almost reminds me of like how Swiss Army knives. Everything is nestled in there, almost like on top of each other. It's similar to that, but you don't get that same vibe here. With this, you see there's a lot of gappage here, not necessarily anywhere else in terms of fit and finish, but just there's a lot of space, and yet you don't get rubbing with a Swiss Army. You don't get rubbing as much with these vintage 32s, but and again, this just might be mine. I'm sure there's a lot of excellent Stockmans out there that I don't know, like I'm sure they look great. They feel great. I'm sure there's no rubbing. 63 18s are very popular, but as far as I can tell from the internet, people say that they all kind of have some rubbing. So I'm not here to complain about it. I'm just saying I just don't get it with this much space. Um, I don't know. I don't know why. I just don't know. It's weird. Luckily, I don't care. I just wanted to point that out. Like it's, if you can eliminate it, apparently you can, right? You can do it with, you can fit, what is this? One, two, three, four different tools and blades into this one. You've got 3 blades here, no rubbing. You've got 3 blades here on this other 32 pattern, and with this one, you've increased the space, but yet there's rubbing on all 3 blades. So anyway, I was promised myself I wasn't going to get into a rant about fit and finish, but nevertheless, here we are. But here, let's just finish it on a positive note. I still do love it. I like this pattern because of the size. It's a great medium size. For me, that's perfect. Not as big as this bigger honkin' 92. But I also like the fact that it's got these rounded bolsters, and that to me speaks to me. It fits in and out of the pocket really nicely. And the other thing, I don't know if this is my first 18 pattern, so I don't know if this is the same for everything. But this pinchable sheep's foot is just awesome. I can't tell you, like I carry this just because of that, actually, because if I'm at work or if I'm just around the house, I don't need to like dig around and get my fingers in here. I just whip this out, and it's the pull weight is really at risk of sounding like it's too light. It's not. It's retained in there. It's not going anywhere. But when you need it, you can actually just pinch it open and it just comes right out. And it's easy to access, easy to use, and this is probably the most used blade of the knife. Let's be honest. For me, opening boxes, cutting things, opening letters, cutting zip ties, opening tools or toys, or anything, bags, and this is the one you're going to use mostly. So I like the fact that it's easy access, and the size of it, you can fit this in your pocket, you can fit this in your jacket, in your back pocket, you can put this in your bag, and it fits anywhere. And it's, despite this hump being pronounced, um, it's not like it's going to catch because of the way that the blade kind of carries over like this, and on the other side it has a ramp. So it's a popular knife for a reason, and I see that. Other things I like about the knife is that the shield is well done. I love this XX shield. I have a Sod Buster Jr. that has the XX shield. It's probably my favorite case shield. Other than that, fit and finish is great. All the pins are well done. The bone, of course, I've said transitions are fairly good. Um, you know, blade is, I mean, I don't really always talk about sharp. I'm not a sharpening kind of guy. Like, as long as it's sharp enough to cut, I'll just, I take a little strop. By the way, this strop, for maybe not for bigger knives, but for pocket knives or even slip joints, which are probably on the smaller side. I forget where I got this. I'll try to look it up and remember one day. But this is such a cool strap because you can hold it in one hand. It's like basically handheld. But it does, just to give you reference, it's about that size. So it's about the size of a knife, but longer. And, if you need it to strap, you know, it's just like this. So I'm trying to line up the camera, but there you go. See, you can strap just like that. See? And it's a great size. So I've always appreciated this one, but I forget where I got it. Anyway, it's one of my favorite straps among many. Just wanted to point that out. Anyway, guys, talking about Stockmans today. What do you guys think about Stockman's 3 blades? I didn't really go through the whole rigmarole of like history and everything like that. I'm just maybe one day when I've done enough of these videos where we're gonna dive deeper. But I didn't go through all the blades. I'm kind of just assuming we all kind of know, but I know some people want to see all the blades. But I can pull them out. This one in particular. There you go. Since this was our quote unquote review. You got the spade blade here. It's not a bad spade blade. Like I've always said before. Gosh, what's so much glare? Um, Not the hugest fan of the case spade blades or anything, but I do like spade blades. I actually really like the GEC spade blades. But anyway, and then you got the California clip blade right there as the main, quote unquote, main blade. But for me, the main blade is really the sheep's foot. It's just this is a nice sheep's foot. I like the size of it, and it's easy to access in this particular model and my example. So this has been my favorite knife so far. I think this is the knife that I've been liking the most over the past month or so, and I have not featured it enough, but I wanted to give its a whole video to it. Anyway, guys, been rambling enough. What do you guys think about Stockmans? Leave a comment, like, subscribe. I appreciate all you guys. I really do. I don't say it enough. I should say it more often, but you guys are the reason that I keep doing this. Being part of the community, keep me going, keep me encouraged. So, love it. Please leave a comment, and I will definitely respond because that's the favorite part of making the videos. So, what do you guys think about Stockmans? This is my favorite, by the way. I have been carrying this one a lot. But in reality, I carry this one equally as much because I just love this red bone. I love the way it feels. What do you guys think? Let me know. See you in the next one.